The next example we'll create is a facade lighting project with RGB fixtures. The objective for this project is to add some dynamic scenes and to easily recall them using the Express Touch mobile app. Just like before, we're connected to the same network as the controller, and the network supports Wi-Fi. The fixtures are all connected to the second DMX port, and they're already addressed, starting at the top right corner. Let's start a new project. Fill in the general fields, and click Next. We're using simple RGB fixtures again, so there's no need to change this step. We'll work in pixels, and add a background image. The image can be cropped by dragging the edges or setting values, but here we're using the complete image. Using Fit to Background adjusts the canvas size to fit the image. We'll set the location to London, connect the controller, and then create the project. We can add fixtures one at a time, or click and drag to paint an array. We can adjust the properties of this array to move fixtures into the right position before committing. We already know the values needed, but it's easy to experiment and adjust. To mirror the cabling on the actual installation, we'll start from the top right corner and then snake down the building. Once we commit the array, we can make manual adjustments, such as moving this bottom row a bit higher, and removing the fixtures behind the logo that aren't installed. Patching is easy. Click on DMX port 2, then select all the fixtures in the browser, and simply drag them onto the patch. Then we can upload this to the controller and use Highlight to confirm the setup is correct. This is a quick and convenient way to ensure the fixtures and addressing matches what's been physically installed. Now let's explore scenes and the three different scene types. Static, dynamic, and timeline scenes have different properties, but follow the same rules and behaviour when played back. Only one scene can be active in a space at any time, and any fixtures in a space that are not included in a scene's programming will go to 0 when that scene is active. Static scenes let us set colour and intensity on individual fixtures. We can select one or multiple fixtures at a time, or use the quick selection tools. Let's name this scene and adjust the fade time. Dynamic scenes provide movement rather than fixed output values. These scenes allow the lights to behave according to one of our predefined presets. As you can see, there's a large library of effect presets, and for each one there are parameters that can be adjusted for some customization. The library filter offers a subset of similar style-based presets. A dynamic scene will continuously loop when played back. For this first example, let's use the color sequence chase and name it Chase 1. As you can see, the colors chase across the lights following the order we set for them. We can change the colors, direction, and timings, or use the dice to randomize the settings. The reset button restores the preset's default. We can also use the selection tools to apply static color to certain fixtures on top of the dynamic scene, and clear this override here if needed. Let's add another dynamic scene. This time, we'll select Halo. This preset is using the position of the fixtures on the canvas to define how the effect plays. We can adjust some colours and name the scene. Let's quickly add a few more dynamic scenes. Using Plasma Web, and Magma Flow for the other. We can also import videos and images to use in dynamic scenes. Go to the Add button and click Media. imported videos and images appear in your media browser, where they can be renamed. If we add another dynamic scene, we'll see the library now has a media option. From here, we can select our imported video. Let's also add a dynamic scene with the uploaded image. Finally, timeline scenes. A timeline allows a number of presets to be placed in sequence. By clicking the Add button, we can paint presets on the timeline, change the effect selected, adjust parameters, and move them around as needed. Timeline length can be adjusted to run for up to 24 hours. Timelines will always loop after the last preset. As well as presets and media, you can also add static scenes to your timeline. This is great when working with DALL-E or fixtures with special parameters. More on that later in the relevant explainers. Now let's simulate the scenes we've created, and use live output to see how the programming looks on the fixtures. Express playback is very predictable. There's only ever one scene active in any space at any time. Now that we've created some scenes, we want to give the user an easy way to recall them. For that, we'll use the free Express Touch mobile app. To do this, we quickly prepare a touch interface by adding one to the canvas. Go to Devices and select Touch App. Once selected, place this in a space. A helper will guide us through setting up this interface. First, we can choose the overall theme, which defines the navigation style. We'll use the Expert theme for this example. Next, select a skin. This defines the colours used in the theme. In the third step, we'll select which controls to display for each space. In this case, we want scene recall, including the off scene. The next option sets which pages are available in the navigation menu. We'll disable them to keep it simple for this first example. Finally, we set the default page. Let's go directly to the project space. That's it, the interface is configured and will be automatically generated based on the choices we made. By clicking Preview or double-clicking the interface on the layout, we can now simulate the touch interface directly in the software. And, as live output is still enabled, we'll see any selections respond on the installation too. Let's link a phone to this installation. First, upload the project to the controller. On a phone connected via Wi-Fi to the same network as the controller, download and install the free Express Touch mobile app. With the app open, follow the instructions to pair the phone with the controller. You'll either need access to the physical controller or to the controller's web interface. This is for security and prevents unauthorized individuals controlling the lighting. You can make changes to the touch interface by selecting the interface in the software and clicking Edit. For instance, we could change the skin and include an intensity control. Save this and upload the project to the controller. You'll notice the phone automatically updates its interface in seconds. Now the project is ready, we'll save a local copy. We just mentioned the controller's web interface. Let's have a quick tour. When commissioning a project, it's useful to see exactly what the controller's doing. The web interface includes a number of informative pages hosted by the controller that can be viewed in a browser. The web interface can be password protected. More on this in the Users and Security Explainer video. Let's have a quick tour. This interface can be accessed from within the software, from the View Web Interface button in Network Tools. Even without Express software, if you're on the same local area network, you can type in the IP address or DNS of the device directly into the browser's address bar. On the homepage, you'll find useful information about the controller, project, and network. Spaces displays current scene playback. From here, we can activate different scenes and adjust overall intensity. The log shows every action the controller has executed, and is a valuable tool in troubleshooting. Filters can be used to limit the number of messages shown. Output shows the actual DMX values that are being sent from the controller at the browser's refresh rate. Network is useful if you have remote devices connected. The Fixtures tab is especially useful if you have RDM fixtures connected. More on this in the dedicated RDM explainer video. Control panel is for use with tags. We'll show this in a dedicated explainer video too. This is also where you can pause upcoming schedule changes to allow a lighting override to persist. Diagnostics is for advanced troubleshooting, and finally, configuration lets you view and alter device and network settings. A useful setting is the log level. Normal is the default and is sufficient for most projects, but for troubleshooting, you can change the type of messages written to the log. Here you can also set up different users. Security is also a topic we touch on in a dedicated explainer video. So that's an overview of the web interface. Let's move on to the third project.